So, Hawkeye is finally here. I was super excited for this show. Of course, it stars Jeremy Renner as Clint Barton, or Hawkeye, and Hailee Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. Now, I was excited for the show for a number of reasons. I've loved all of the live action MCU shows. I really love WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, and of course Loki. What If was very meh. It was alright. You know, I reviewed every single episode of all of those shows. If you want to check them out, they will be linked down below. But we have Hawkeye. I've only seen the first episode now. Both episodes dropped today, but as of recording this, I have the second episode queued up to play right after I'm done posting this video. So I will review episode 2 tomorrow. I was going to combine them into one, but I was like, you know what? Why not talk about them separately? I feel like I'll have different thoughts on them. I don't know anything about the second episode, but to start off this show, we're on a good start. I will say that. This will definitely be the weakest episode. I can tell that already, and spoiler warning for those who have not seen the show, obviously, because there's only 2 episodes yet, or have not seen the episode. I always just talk spoilers, just kind of spoiler rants in a way, if that makes sense. We're off to a good start with this show, but it is not the strongest pilot of any of the Marvel shows. I will say I'm still going to give that to Loki. Loki had an amazing pilot. I mean, they've all been good, and when I say they have all been, I'm mainly referring to the live action ones. Not to say I didn't like What If, but the more I think about it, the lower down it goes. This episode was good. There's a lot of things I really loved about it, and the best thing about the show, and I knew it was going to be the best thing, you know what I'm going to say, Hailee Steinfeld as Kate Bishop is amazing. I love her already. I really love Edge of 17. It's a great coming of age film, probably one of my favorites. Great film, and I love Hailee Steinfeld. I always have. I've always really loved her as a person. I know that she seems so sweet, and she basically is playing like herself that can shoot a bow and arrow, which is just awesome. That's exactly what I want for Kate Bishop. I don't know much about the character, but I do know that this is what I expected going into the show, and this is what I really love. She cracks jokes sometimes, and it comes down to just her facial expression in some scenes, because it's revealed here that her mother's now engaged to somebody else, and she's shocked because her mom didn't tell her. Obviously, I said spoiler warning before, so that's why I'm talking about it, and it's little things like that. That whole bell clock tower scene was really funny, where she accidentally knocks the bell and the clock down, and then the episode ends with her meeting Hawkeye. I know I'm jumping to the end, but it was cool. It's just kind of fun to see her daily activities in a way, and when she gets the Ronin suit, when she puts it on and she's kicking ass, I mean, it's just awesome. It's so awesome. And then the reveal of, you know, Clint and her meeting. I wouldn't really say it's a reveal. I don't know why I said that, but the meetup, you could say. It was cool. It was a perfect way to end. Clint knocks everybody down, saves her, pulls her aside. She's like, "Oh, you're Hawkeye." And he's like, "Who the hell are you?" Episode ends. Great. But I will say the whole thing with Clint at the start with his family is pretty cool. It's at times almost a little bit cheesy, but I don't mind it. I think that the whole Rogers the musical thing was a very good opening scene, like for Clint. I'm pretty sure that's the first scene he's in, and you see him really react to seeing somebody play Natasha, and I think that that was probably my favorite part of his character in this episode, is that you still see that he is struggling with that, and that's something that's very important. Obviously, we've all seen Endgame. We know how important it is, and I like how it was shown here. All the stuff with his family at that one dinner place was a little cheesy, but I did kind of expect that in a way. Again, I do think this will be the weakest episode just because it's the setup for the rest of the show. Obviously, typically the pilot episodes of shows are not the best ones. Again, it was a very good episode, just like What If. I'm not going to give these individual ratings. I will say, this episode was very good. I loved everything with Kate Bishop. I can't wait for episode 2, which I'm going to watch in 30 minutes or whenever this video goes up. I will review it tomorrow. I'm very excited for the rest of the show. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Yelena and stuff. I know they didn't mention her obviously in this episode, but she'll be in the show. She's basically confirmed to be in the show. Once again, I love Hailee Steinfeld in the show. I still think that Jeremy Renner does not get enough praise as Hawkeye. He's an awesome character. I've loved him ever since Avengers. And one last thing I do want to talk about is the opening of this episode, and I think that's what threw me off. I don't know what it is. There's just something about the opening of this episode that is just odd. I don't know if it's the CGI, because the CGI was a little bit off, but there was just something about it. I don't know if anybody else felt that way, but when I was watching it, I was like, this is weird, because we've had openings just like this, which is good. This is what I wanted. I want to see why she likes Hawkeye, and the reasoning totally makes sense. But There's just something, maybe it's the way it's shot, everything like that. I really don't know. There's something weird about the opening, but anyway, I really enjoyed this episode. I feel like it will be the weakest of the show, but we are off to a good start. What did you think of the first episode of Hawkeye? What did you think of the first 2 episodes, actually? Again, I will be reviewing episode 2 tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.